Hi, I want to talk about DC fans and how Alexa fans could destroy or harm the DCU. Especially probably the Zack Snyder fans. And me being a fan of Zack Snyder, I could count myself as one, but I'm not posting hate towards the movie. And how did I come up with this sort of theory? Well, let's get back to the history and why people are complaining about Justice League. First of all, it was planned after Zack Snyder done Man of Steel. He went on to do BVS. It was originally planned after BVS to do a two-part Justice League. And many fans, let me excuse me, still got a cold. And many fans were hoping that Justice League would answer some of the mysteries that surrounded BVS. Maybe like the nightmare scenario that Bruce Wayne had. The Flash teleport from the future to warn Bruce. The resurrection of Superman, how it came to be. What else? And of course, being this two-parter, it may have seemed different for Superman's initial return, and you would have had the two-part dealing with Darkseid. Now, what did the fans get? Did Justice League answer these questions? I would think, in a way, they did, but not as straight as you would think. Okay, first of all, what Warner Brothers did was they listened to the fans. They listened to the critics. And then they stopped their idea of doing a two-part Justice League. So instead of just a two-part, they thought, well, if we bring Darkseid over straight away, it may mean that, the biggest, baddest villain will be used up too quickly. And what they should do is just make sure that everybody knows the team members. And because they couldn't get directors for solo films or get stories right in place, but they had Zack with a good script about Justice League, they thought they'd make a change. And maybe if they do a Justice League film that introduces these characters, see what ones work, and then do a solo movie out of it. Now, what's happened now is we seem to have a director for Flash. We seem to be getting along with Shazam, and Flashpoint seems to be what everybody's talking about. Is it going to be a change for the DCEU? So these were the original plans. Also, the fans of Zack Snyder that have been defending Man of Steel, defending BVS, they like that style and they like that music. And even though they spent the last few years defending it, like I did, the vast majority of people couldn't recognise the heroes that they were watching. They didn't understand the different concept of looking at a character from a different angle. They couldn't grasp the Batman story sort of being, sort of murderous rampage, whatever was on. They couldn't grasp why Superman wasn't happy. So they couldn't grasp it, but we could. It made a divide. So Warner Brothers had to sit down very quickly and say, how can we turn all of these negatives into a positive and make everybody happy? Well, the quickest way would be Superman comes back and he's been to a dark place and he suddenly realises that the world has missed him since he was gone, and he is more happy with his life because he knows what living is like and stuff. And then we have Bruce Wayne, who is grateful that he's back and that Superman pulled him from this brink of blackness that he was in. So that was one way of how we could recapture the magic of Superman. Hans Zimmer was brought in to change the music. I had a wee bit of notes from those fans that did like the old Christopher Reeve movies, Michael Keaton Batman movies. Sorry. So they were trying to accommodate every fan, but it's quite hard. Now, also, the qualms about the length of the film. Now, Zack Snyder, BVS Ultimate Edition, about 3 hours long. But movies, cinemas, wouldn't really cope with a 3-hour movie. People sometimes would think 3 hours was too long. Some people even watching the Ultimate Edition thought the Ultimate Edition was too long, and 2 hours was enough for them. So again, Warner Brothers was in a hard place trying to satisfy everybody's need for a film that was cut down just to 2 hours and to be entertaining. Justice League managed to do that. It managed to be 2 hours, and most people who watched it now complain that it was too short because it flew, and they could have sat for another 40 minutes. This is the biggest thing that any studio making a movie has got: the runtime. Does the film feel like 2 hours? No, most people left the cinema wanting more, which to me is a good sign. Was the questions answered? Well, partly yes, but some people didn't catch on straight away. First of all, there was the bit with the stones rising from the coffin on BVS right at the very end. That was to signify that Superman wasn't exactly dead. There was a chance that he could come back. And that was sort of highlighting away in Justice League, where Batman had said that his regeneration process or his decaying process or something along those lines was a lot slower. So in Superman's terms, there was still a lot of energy surrounding Superman, and for him, even though maybe weeks and months have gone by, he'd still be that sort of fresh. It would be still like somebody in the hospital, and there's still a chance if you give him one of those pressures to the chest, it could revive him. And that's exactly what the Mother Box did. It was basically a big one of those stand clear shock to the system to wake him up. But of course, when he did wake up, they also tried to answer fans' thing about being, if he was to wake up, what would he be like? Pet Sematary. For those people that are too young to know what Pet Sematary is, it was a Stephen King's film where animals were brought back to life, but when they were brought back, they came back evil because they had witnessed death. So bringing Superman back, it also gave us the answer where Bruce, if he could have said it, it would have been brilliant. Where Bruce had said Lois is the key, and also it makes sense for Flash. Find us. We need the team. We need the team together. Come and get us and stuff like that. And Lois is the key. Lois is the key to Clark's heart, to Clark's sanity, and it stops him from becoming evil, just like the nightmare scenario you had seen in BVS. So that, of course, has answered that question about the dream. That Steppenwolf also mentions Darkseid briefly. So again, the main villain of the piece that you saw in the desert. Not a lot of people know probably about Darkseid. Non-DC fans know. But Steppenwolf did mention the gods. He wanted to rejoin the gods. Some scenes were cut out, probably to simplify for the general public who doesn't know all the DC lore. And that's why these scenes were cut out from the film. Then we get on to the other scene where, so the nightmare scene could be carried on. So to me, the answers to all of that has been answered. The only ones probably not been answered were how does he bring Superman back? How does the world react to Superman's return? We sort of see that at the very end when Lex Luthor just goes, oh, he's back in the sky, and all that sort of stuff. So we acknowledge that people know that, and you see Clark wearing wearing a reporter's outfit at the very end, clarifying that he's still got his job, he's still there. Maybe more news will come in the Superman solo film. Let's hope that does. Also, there was, as I said in other videos, there was a scene that was mentioned that Penny White was told that Clark Kent is Superman. So they could have easily thinking it was a small paragraph in a newspaper. So he could have easily just typed a mistake. And as we know, Smallville already knows who Superman is, the townsfolk. So there is, and if you haven't gathered that out, then rewatch Man of Steel and you'll realise that they knew that Clark had special abilities, and when Superman crashed into Pete Ross's cafe or burger joint or whatever, there was a sign of recognition there. So why do I feel like DC fans or Zack Snyder fans is destroying DCU? It's because they're too busy petitioning for a film or putting down Justice League or putting comments and saying please avoid this. And what we should do is just try and accept, like I've enjoyed the film, accept the film for what it is and what it's done, and take to heart that majority of people loved it. People who probably didn't like the previous two loved it. Warner Brothers is trying hard to please the fans, and they are listening. But this is a Justice League we never thought we would get in our lifetime, and we've got it, and we've got moments in that film that are great. We have Superman taking on, the top 5 heroes, and we have the Superman chasing Flash, and we have the comedy between Flash and Wonder Woman and Aquaman. It's all there, and it all sets up all the characters beautifully and giving the characters time to go. But what's that? And now the call that all these deleted scenes that Zack had made, what I believe hasn't been finished and probably might not get to the Ultimate Edition. We will never know exactly how much Joss Whedon had influenced the picture, or how much Warner Brothers took it upon themselves to edit the film. But I believe deep down that Warner Brothers and Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder all tried to get the best film out possible, and the reshoots were probably trying to. And because it was Zack who also said that he wanted to do some more shots, something wasn't flushed out. Now, that you can leave all your conspiracies why Zack stepped down for the sake of his family and for his daughter and stuff, and he's now gone on to Wonder Woman and helping out there. So what I'm asking for fans to do is just learn to appreciate the film that we got. Try to understand that Warner Brothers was trying to listen to each and every one of you to give you the superhero film you all wanted. Did it suffer because of it? Of course it did. The film did suffer because we had two sets of fans. We had the Zack Snyder fans, and we had the DC fans of a different, who loved the previous sort of Christopher Reeve sort of movies and stuff like that. So in this film, what pleases one person angers the next. So please, if you are a DC fan, just go and support it and just accept the film for what it is. Yes, there are some scenes that could have been flushed out. Yes, but to be honest, if you really watch it again and put all your hatred to one side, it's still an enjoyable 2-hour ride. Will we get an Ultimate Edition? Will we get a Zack Snyder edition just like we did with the Richard Donner? I very much doubt it. But there is, does it feel like a Zack Snyder film? No. But maybe the Zack Snyder film, as I say, because he wrote it along with Chris Terrio and stuff. Maybe if we got his 2 films, I don't know, would it be more of a success, or would it been just the same as BVS? But what we do know is the fact that they are listening to us. Warner Brothers is trying to listen, and trying to get everybody in. So I don't know what else to say on the subject other than, you know, you do have the power, fans. You do have the power to stop trolling, stop putting negative comments on a film. You don't see Marvel fans doing this, even though most of those films all feel the same. And as you say, Zack Snyder was on board for the majority of it. You could actually blame Zack Snyder in a way, because he did step down. He shouldn't have started Justice League if he didn't feel ready. Warner Brothers had already said to him maybe we could hold back another year for Justice League because of your family and what's going on from your daughter. But he went, no, I want to start this. And then halfway through, he stepped down because of family issues. It would be sick of us to even think that that a company told him to step down halfway through, knowing that his daughter had did this, or that he was forced out. That would not be in Warner Brothers' best interest, to go with any conspiracy theory that Joss Whedon had a whole hand in his sort of removal for the film. It was Zack Snyder, I believe's own choice to step down, and the reason why he's credited as director is because the majority of the film, and this is decided by an outside company, not the studios, on who did the most work and who should be credited as director, and that is Zack Snyder. Could we have had another film? Yes, but this is what we've got, and it's because it's trying to give us what we want. So let's just rejoice in the film that we've happened to have in our life. Let's buy that Blu-ray and let's stop writing nasty comments on a movie that really is for the kids. It's entertained the kids, and I'll be posting more things on my Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope page about the audience reaction, the cheers, the laughter. Let's start following the good review tweets instead of looking for the negatives. This is Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope, hoping to give you hope, and hoping that you would start being positive about what we have in our lives in our lifetime. And remember that Zack Snyder gave this film to a dying child before a chance to watch it before he passed away. That's what really life is all about. Okay, that's the most seriousness of what life is all about. So let's just be happy. Let's be happy about the film. Okay, and a lot of us do decide that this film is, even though Rotten Tomatoes or the money that it made, I enjoyed it more than I did Avengers. And again, if it came out when Avengers supposedly did instead of Avengers, we could be looking at a different sort of reaction to the film. Let us know what you think in your comments below. But try, be positive, and hopefully you join me on my page, Man of Steel Fan Gives Hope. Thank you.